Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining this live video. I hope you can hear me and see the screen I'm sharing. Please forgive my delay, 3 minutes delay. However, okay, let's get started as usual with the dollar index. Okay, thank you so much for confirmation. Let's start. This is the daily chart for the dollar index, my primary account, having the XY completing the circle E wave triangle. Internal wave count is looking that way. Waves A, B, and C are supposed to complete the final part of the triangle. And after that, initiate huge reversal and drop within the wave CO4. This count is projected on the linear price scale, but I have to know that similar wave count might be applied to the logarithmic chart as well. As for the logarithmic chart, this is what I have for now. We maybe start unfolding wave 3 of 3. Internal wave structure is looking that way. The count is being tested right now above 103.65, the signal line. The count should be taken off the charts. And the triangle remains the only valid count I have for now. However, other alternatives might be suggested after that, but let's wait and see what we get. Again, two options. One of them suggests direct extension to the downside within the wave 3 of CO4, and minimum target for decline would be 95, though ideally I would like to see 91 area reached. And in the case we follow the option to decount, then possible target is 92.42 area. Now euro. Option 2, the triangle scenario for the wave cycle B, is my primary account as well. One of possible scenarios suggests further extension to the upside in the wave D, but the option 1, which is my primary account, supposes that that the cycle B wave is already in place. Now we're tracing initial steps within the wave 3 of 1 up. 3 of 1 up, it means that we're already in the wave 3 of the cycle CO4. Both options are valid. The option 1 is valid above 1.07778. Break below this line, and I will have to adopt the option 2 as new primary. And after all, we still may be dealing with waves 1, 2, 1, 2. If this was wave 1, 2, then these 5 waves might be interpreted as initial leading diagonal to the upside in the wave cycle CO4. And this is what the option 1D about 1, 2, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 1, and 2. The count is valid above 106.016. The same refers to the option 2 micro-linear count. So both options remain intact, as well as both options for the dollar index. I'm waiting for confirmation, for clarification, based upon the following moves. Above 107.778, I maintain quite bullish scenario, having the euro already in the wave 1 and 3 up, or maybe already beginning its third wave. Beginning its third wave is presented on the option 1 count. Any questions? I see no questions. So we're heading towards major Forex pairs. British pound. This count has been questioned and seems to be going to be invalidated in solid manner. Once 126.131 gets taken out to the downside, the count would be solidly invalidated. And anyways, I'm going to maintain the option 1D updated and modified count, suggesting deeper targets for the wave 2 of the wave cycle CFC. Larger degree triangle remains intact. This is what the count may be looking like. ABC, now wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for now, deeper targets in the wave 2 of the cycle CFC is my primary scenario. Euro to the British pound. The previous version of the count has been solidly invalidated. Now I'm following updated scenario, suggesting waves A, B, and C for the cycle wave 2. Wave A is targeting to 0.87186, and this is the ideal target for the wave A, and internal wave structure seems to be confirming this scenario. A possible target for entire wave cycle 2 is 0.8822, 89 to 86. This area is supposed to trigger another move to the downside. I've slightly raised a possible target for the wave cycle 3. And that is all I can say for now regarding this pair. Japanese yen. Long-term major top for the wave C may be already in place. I was warning about this scenario earlier, and now we seem to be following this deep pullback price action. Internal wave structure for presumable wave A is presented on this chart. I have to note that this target is really low. So if the pair is going to follow that extension, then we may be indeed extend to the downside in much stronger manner. The target at 121 might be only an initial target for entire correction. After all, we may be unfolding ABC of A, then corrective bounce, and then wave C of a large degree to 101 or even lower to 90.46. All these options should be kept in mind. This pair is supposed to have topped. Otherwise, in the case we see immediate reversal and take out 151.946, the signal line, I will have to adjust the count, but anyways, wave A of a large degree pullback would be considered as being in place. Ideal target for the rally, 168, roughly 165 area, has been missed. So let's wait and see. Ideally, I would like to see this Fibonacci cluster reached, and there I anticipate some sort of reaction to the upside to at least 144. So ideal path is 135, then 145, waves A and B. Any variations of these targets will hopefully provide us with clues for the better count. Now, option 1D in euro to the Japanese yen. Regarding this pair, I couldn't yet consider entire wave structure completed. I wouldn't be surprised by a high in the wave cycle 3, or at the same time, this area is the bottom region of ideal target for entire wave C. So my primary count still supposes a high in the wave 5 of the cycle 3. Internal wave structure for this decline, 1, 2, 3, 4, and extension in the wave 5. Above 154.419, extension to 180 area remains intact. To confirm, a meaningful low 164.177 should be taken out. Otherwise, direct extension to the downside would force me to totally revise the count and adopt the top is in place scenario, similar to what we have in USD to Japanese yen. The top is in place scenario would force me to review the bottom and project possible targets for major decline. Swiss franc. USD to the Swiss franc, my former primary account, having pulled back as wave 2, is now the verge of invalidation. Below 0.833327, the count would be taken off the table, and right now it seems to be really unlikely. My primary account supposes extension to the downside within the wave circle 3, 4, and 5 of C of the circle B. Ideal target was announced many months earlier and is 0.795. Immediate bounce above 0.87771 would make the case for a meaningful low may be in place. Then I will have to restore the option 2 linear account. Right now, option 1 is my primary and lower targets remain on the table. Euro to the Swiss franc. The account has been adjusted. This is what new account is looking like. We may be dealing with completion of a multi-year ending diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Formally, the bottom, the lower trend channel, the lower bound of the trend channel is triggered. We have touched this trend line, and respectively, I have the reason to assume we may have bottomed. However, the ideal target for entire wave CL5 of the circle 5 is missing. I would like to see 0.9147 region to be tested, but above 0.94783 would be initial indication of a meaningful low may be in place. Again, entire wave structure for large degree wave circle 5 might be considered done. Further extension to the upside above 0.97736 would confirm a meaningful low. Finally, Canadian dollar. The weekly chart supposes that the pair is meandering within the wave circle 3 of a large degree ending diagonal. Low confidence scenario, to be honest. The next alternative supposes higher extension in the wave circle B, and then we either continue a sideways consolidation in triangle manner or trigger sharp reversal and drop within the red circle C wave of 4. This count is my alternative, but to validate it, I want to see the pair taking out 139.77. Similar scenario suggesting higher extension in the wave 3 of C of the circle 3 is presented on the option 1D chart, and the micro chart presents possible internal wave structure. Waves A and B may be considered done. If this is the case, then following reversal is supposed to bring us to, let's say, 142.95 or so. Ultimate extension for the rally would be 144. That's it for the major pairs. Any questions? I see no questions, so we're heading to the minor pairs. Let's start with Chinese yuan. Decisive rally towards the key resistance prompts me to assume that wave circle C of B may have bottomed. Otherwise, we still may be dealing with more complex wave structure within the wave circle B. However, completed impulsive wave structure above this signal resistance at 720 would be the reason to assume we are moving up within the wave CF3. Ideal target for that rally would be 775. Right now, a slightly lower low in the wave CFB wouldn't surprise me, but let's wait and see. Polish zloty. I have slightly moved higher possible target region. Right now, the pattern we're dealing with may be initial steps within the wave circle 3, A, B, and C. The count is valid below 399.18. The count is not a high confidence. Turkish lira, interesting chart. We're finally seeing some indication of presumably final extension towards the top of presumed wave circle 5 of A, 34.8, 34.77. This is a larger degree count, suggesting a meaningful high at 34.8 area. Alternatively, I allow extension to 35.5 based upon the option 2M count. This monthly chart provide me with these targets, preliminary targets. So let's wait and see. Both counts suppose powerful reversal and at least corrective pullback. At least corrective pullback in the wave circle 4 or major decline in the wave B. So let's wait and see what we get. Mexican peso. Looks like we're tracing a pullback matching wave 4. Overall, the count will be looking that way. ABC of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ideal target for the wave 5 would be 2032. To validate wave 4, I want to see the signal line breached, 18.9804. Short-term breach and powerful reversal, or even touch of this line, would be enough to consider wave 4 completed. On the other hand, I could consider wave 1 already completed, in an expanded ending diagonal manner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this overlap leaves the leading diagonal count alive. If this is the case, then wave cycle 1 may be already in place. So powerful pullback would complete wave cycle 2, and then we have completed powerful long setup. I want to note that the key signal line is taken out. It means that a long-term bottom I consider it confirmed, and we are probably in the wave 5 up, 1, 2, or higher target for the wave 1 followed by pullback in the wave 2, and we're ready to launch a really huge rally. So I'm looking forward to what we see in this pair. New Zealand dollar. The previously posted micro count has been invalidated. Now below 0.6478, I maintain lower target in the wave C of the cycle Y of 2. Above this line, I will have to assume that a meaningful low has been formed. Right now, this count seems to be not much likely. I would prefer seeing lower targets. And finally, Australian dollar. Previous version of the option 3 count has been invalidated. Now I'm looking forward to extension to the ideal target for the wave 1 of the cycle 3 of C up. In the case we hold above 0.63495, I maintain this count for primary. Option 2D, also bullish, is my second best alternative. And finally, in the case we only see corrective bounce holding below this high, I will have to apply wave C of the cycle Y of B. This alternative seems to be the least likely, but however, in the case we break below the previous low at 0.63495, I could project lower target to this target area. This target area is presented on the option 1 chart. Option 3, primary. Option 2D, my second alternative. Option 1D, my least likely alternative at the moment, but probability assessment could change. Any questions regarding major and minor Forex pairs? No questions. We're heading to metals. Let's start with gold. Just to remind you, the counts of a larger degree. Presumable wave circle 5 of 1 is targeting to 2700 area. Right now, we're probably dealing with interim correction. The weekly chart, the daily chart. Internal wave structure presented on the option 1D linear chart is the ending diagonal within the wave circle 5 of 3. Ideal target for this wave structure is 2550 area. Internal wave structure is presented here. Basically nothing changed. The count is valid above this specific version of the non-account is valid above the previous low at 2354. However, I wouldn't be surprised by a slightly deeper pullback in the wave 2, A, B, and C. Then we start up the wave 3 from slightly lower target. The count is valid above 2295. Alternatively, I allow that we are dealing with some sort of triangle, A, B, C, D, E. So marginally lower low might be a part of this triangle, and either way, completed wave cycle 4 is supposed to trigger a resolution to the upside towards the same target region, 2550. Silver. Here is extremely interesting chart. We're at a really critical juncture. My previously posted primary count having silver in the wave blue circle C supposes extension towards 35.660. Internal wave structure is telling that we're dealing with pullback, corrective pullback in the wave 4. However, I was maintaining the option 1 for a meaningful alternative scenario, suggesting that wave B has been already topped. If this is the case, then we're on our way to 1550 or 15 or roughly to 16 area. And internal wave structure for this decline is looking quite supportive for this evil scenario. Please note, we have no daily positive divergence. The pattern is really weak. In the case we break below 25,945, this count definitely becomes my new preference. Again, I see no positive divergence. Daily oversold indication didn't provide us with huge bounce, so this pattern is really weak. What could save us? Save our bullish expectations. First, solid invalidation count for the bullish scenario is 2607 level. These prices are for cash. Silver and United States dollar projected in the cash prices as a part of a Forex data feed. 2607. Please find similar points on your data feed and draw this line. That would be a solid invalidation level for the bullish scenario based upon your own specific data feed. The top of the wave 1. Wave 4 should not breach this line. The only reasonable option saving wave 4 count after breaching or touching this line would be that red triangle. Yes, wave A of triangle could breach the solid invalidation level, but then strong bounce followed by sideways consolidation in the wave 4, completing well above the solid invalidation line still could save the fourth wave count. Honestly, this scenario, hoping and betting on this scenario is absolutely unreasonable. I just presented just a way to save the count. But again, let me remind you, there are neither positive divergence, no solid oversold indication. Looks like this chart is pointing lower and lower and lower. As for nano level, 26.558 is the ideal target where wave 4 could complete. Formally, we still have a few cents to complete this wave structure. Even slightly breached, this level leaves the count alive. 2607 is the solid invalidation level. So let's wait and see. With this final extension to a marginally lower low, entire wave structure in the wave circle 5 would be looking completed. However, I would be very, very careful. Either way, this wave structure is supposed to complete soon, or during break below 2607 would be sign of a huge decline in accordance with the option 1 count. Please be very careful at this juncture. 26.27 region is the ideal, might be an ideal target. Then 15-16 area might be met in relatively short term. That was a really serious warning. Any questions? Now we're following to our requests. Let me start with Mara. Pretty simple. The count I was tracking as previously as primary earlier, option 1D, is now solidly invalidated. I take it off the charts. Option 2D is my primary, and this count supposes extension towards 1042, 763. 763, the bottom region of this target zone, is my primary expectation. The count and possible target projection were presented earlier and remain fully intact. The only note to add is alternate diagonal trend channel for the wave CF2. This CF2 could complete either as an impulse or as a diagonal. In the case we see A, B, and C higher, then the diagonal scenario would become my new primary. To take this count out of the table, I want to see 27.30 level taken out. Otherwise, we're set to revisit 7.63. Any questions? No questions. And other requests are on SPX and Nasdaq. Nasdaq, I'm going to comment on larger timescales for NDX. SPX. First, let me remind you my count I has adopted a while ago. The fifth wave to 6269 is my primary count. Right now, these strong technicals prompt me to anticipate this target to be reached eventually, and pullback we're seeing right now seems to be just an interim correction. The weekly chart with the same targets, and finally the daily chart. Possible internal wave structure. I have adjusted the bottom for the wave 4. Now 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, multiple nested 1, 2s prompt me to anticipate higher targets, and this is what possible wave structure may be looking like. Wave 4 count is valid above 48.57. Yes, we could revisit that low. The next support is 50.48 region. There, wave 4 could complete. This is 38.2%, a retracement of entire wave 3 as presented on this chart. Below 48.57, entire wave count should be revised. My possible alternative scenario is presented here. This is the expanded flat correction for the wave 4. Just to remind you, this wave pattern in presumable wave cycle 4. Waves A unfolding as an expanded flat, A, B, and C. Then 3 waves up, A, B, and C. A, B, C, D, E triangle in the wave B, and final extension. Both these wave structures were completed in 3 waves manner, and eventually they initiated huge reversal to the upside. So if this wave structure sustains here, then we're dealing just with major reiteration of the same wave pattern, A, B, and C, then huge reversal and rally in three waves manner, A, B, and C, and huge drop. This huge drop and this huge drop are micro copies of what we're maybe dealing right now with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And possible targets for that scenario is 35.22, 30.15. Yes, that deep drop still could be a part of a huge rally towards 62.69. And this rally still might be just the fourth wave. So the bottom line, let's wait and see a reaction to 50.48 and 48.57. Below this line, the option 2 becomes my new preference. Ideal target for the wave 1 is 48.49. Familiar numbers, don't you think? 48.49, 48.57, similar target. So I wouldn't be surprised by a retest of this region and reaction to this region or reaction to the previous interim support will be the key clues I'm looking forward to. Any questions regarding SPX? No questions. Now, major wave pattern in Nasdaq. First, I couldn't yet consider this wave count a high confidence. As always, we only have impulsive looking wave structure that potentially might be considered completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Internal wave structure seems to be matching this count. The count is projected on the linear price scale. Possible target for the wave 2 is presented here. 13,000 or maybe even 8,330. Internal wave structure, waves A, B, and C. If this is the case, then I anticipate extension to 15,930 area within the wave circle A. Internal wave structure for this decline doesn't seem to be highly confident, so I prefer watching. And alternative scenario suggesting a really bullish option for this chart. Let me show you in details. First, I could count this entire wave structure as completed impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Completed impulse in the wave 1 initiated pullback that reached 38.2 retracement region. In the wave 2, respectively, we have 1, 2. The most interesting part of this chart is that following extension, unfolded in impulsive manner, reached exactly the ideal target suggested by the famous obvious Fibonacci pin pole model. 61.8 area is reached in presumable wave cycle 1. Wave cycle 1, pull back into wave cycle 2, and we're ready to launch a huge rally within the wave 3, 4, and 5. Right now, this seems to be maybe overly optimistic, and I remain skeptical. And I want to see the ideal target for the wave to reached, and then I want to see a reaction. However, in the case we reach 16,765, followed by a powerful reversal to the upside, then this count definitely would become my new preference. And this count promises really huge profits to those who bet on the long side in Nasdaq. That was it for the request charts on requests. I hope you're satisfied. Thank you for confirmation. And now we're heading to the final part. And final part is cryptos. Cryptos provide me with tons of concerns regarding my accounts. First of all, the ideal account in Doge remains intact. 1, 2. Internal wave structure was presented on Monday. A, B, and C, well, wave C is completed in an ending diagonal manner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right now, impulsive looking resolution to the upside of the recent low may be part of the wave 1, but honestly, for confirmation, I want to see 0.141823 level taken out. Otherwise, absolutely no guarantees we are going to see the bottom in near-term perspective. Link to the United States dollar. The previously posted count remains fully intact. A, B, and C of A, then corrective bounce, and now wave C of 2. Until the key signal resistance at 10.75 region is taken out, my primary count is pointing slightly lower. 6.91 wouldn't surprise me. This ideal target has been projected earlier and remains obtainable. ADA, the least reliable chart. I have to note that the alternate red wave 2 is my count that I would maintain in the case we break below the previous low at 23.6969. And looks like this level very well might be breached soon. Then I will have to move this blue wave 2 to this spot, and I will suggest not to follow this chart until we have sustained 1-2-way structure to the upside. Here we have 1, 2, and now this presumably bullish setup is gonna be tested and probably invalidated. So even 1, 2 doesn't seem to be completed. Wave 2 is going to fail. Ethereum. The primary count. Ideal target for pullback in the wave 4 is reached, and this is the ultimate region where wave 4 makes sense. In the case we extend lower, below 2083, I will take this count off the table and switch to something like presented on my alternate option to the linear chart. Yes, the same evil triangle count suggesting long-term sideways consolidation in Ethereum. A, B, C, D, and E. Ideal target for the wave circle C is 1351, 1640. This scenario very well might unfold. Below 2827, the scenario makes sense, and the same count might apply to the logarithmic price scale as well. A, B, C, D, and E. So in the case we break below 2083, the triangle will apply to the logarithmic price scale as well. Bitcoin. Option 1 count projected on the logarithmic price scale remains intact. Wave 4 is still holding. Internal wave structure for this scenario is presented here. Above 60,060, this scenario would be looking much more reliable. Right now, it is still one of possible options. A, B, and C. I have posted this count earlier. Please note, even these 5 waves impulsive rally does not guarantee continuation of a larger degree bullish trend. Please note, I keep this in mind always. I often hear the question, do we have 5 waves up? Yes, we have, but so what? Here we have 5 waves up, followed by huge reversal. Every correction completes in 5 waves manner. Every ABC supposes 5 waves within the wave C, exactly like we see on this chart. And here is a textbook example of why we shouldn't trust only impulse. Impulse should be followed by corrective pullback, holding above the previous low. Only after that, we have to assume we're dealing with a bullish setup. And after that, final part, alternative in Bitcoin, marginally lower low in the wave C of the cycle 4 at 48,000 225. So as long as Bitcoin is holding above this line, the bullish scenario makes sense. Otherwise, in the case we break below this line, I will have to apply something like I have just mentioned regarding Ethereum, something triangle looking, A, B, C, D. And that triangle could involve us in multi-year sideways consolidations in both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we're at really critical junctures in both, and basically in all the crypto charts. So that's it for today. Any questions? No questions. Thank you for attending this live video. Thank you for your requests. I always welcome any of your requests, even those that I can't fulfill. Anyways, all the charts commented today will be posted shortly after the live video, along with recording of the presentation. Have a great evening and see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.